I write a column in the Punch newspaper. That's the most widely read newspaper in Nigeria since 2012. And I've been interested in mainstreaming gender in my report. So right from 2009 or 2010, I came in contact with WEB. So I've always been part of their programs. So last 2 years, I got an email concerning Climate Action Africa. And I decided that I was going to be part of it because I like my capacity to be updated at every moment in my professional career.
And which of the trainings were you invited to?
I was invited to the media training, which happened in September 4 and September 5, 2024. Yeah, it was in a hotel called Zuma Hotel in Abuja here.
Okay. So since that training, can you think of one experience that you've had that was the most meaningful or an achievement that you have had since this training that you're most proud of?
Okay, the one I'm most proud of is my article getting selected by the Nigerian Media Merit Award for the first time in 13 years. Article was nominated for an award, and the article was an article I wrote after we had that training, and I decided to change my style of how I write in my column. So I used storytelling, and I also did some research to incorporate the UNFCCC process. And I called the article Gender-Based Loss and Damage from Climate Change. That's the title of the article. And it was selected by the top professionals in the country as worthy of an award. And the award held in December last year. And I came second nationwide. It's called the Columnist of the Year Award. So it's the one.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's the one that made me so proud because I now made a commitment that I'm going to write more with the same style, so I'll win more awards. Then secondly, I also found myself having more capacity to transmit to other aspiring journalists and aspiring environmental and climate journalists like me. So some young people, an international organization called International Climate Change Center, based in Nigeria here, but it has an international reach. They were doing a program on training. It's called Climate Justice for Africa. So yeah, they were trying to train journalists on how to write articles and stories and reportages that will attract attention on climate justice in Africa. So they invited me to train the journalists. So I now leveraged, that was last year, July. That's about 7 months after the training from Climate Change Africa program, Climate Action Africa program. So I leverage my learning, what I gained from that program, to train other journalists. And I taught them how to use storytelling, creating narratives with examples, with samples, the way we were taught, to create a lead. The lead is the first paragraph in your story. We were taught in the training that we should tweak our lead to attract attention by creating vivid stories in a way that people could identify with, especially with a local narrator. So I trained the journalists, and by now, after that training, 3 of them have approached me that their journey in their professional life has improved. So I became their mentor. And 1 is in broadcast, 2 is in print journalism. So it's a thing of pride for me, because it makes me to be more creative and to have more leverage on how I make impact in my society. And by the way, I happen to work for a political organization as a climate support personnel, right? On volunteer level. Okay, we used to call it support group. So I have an organization called APC Climate Change Network. So we give support to the ruling party on how to incorporate climate governance in all the administrative and party structure nationwide. So I have coordinators in all the 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory. I have coordinator. We call them climate change coordinators. So
Creating some influence.
yeah, exactly. So we have. I was in Brazil for the COP, and I took the structure to discuss with other climate governance stakeholders around the world to see how we can learn more so that we improve Nigeria climate ecosystem. So my point is that after that training, I had a brainwave to mainstream gender in what I was doing for my party, for my network. So I now created what is called Girl Youth Leader. So as a parallel to what is obtainable today, because there is no gender mainstreaming at the youth level in politics in Nigeria. Most Nigerians political parties, they work with boys in the youth at the youth level, youth leader level. So I now created what I call girl youth leader. So if you have male youth leader, that's the boy youth leader. You should also have to balance it. You have to have it. So we adopted it. We had a meeting, and I proposed it, and the management or the executives adopted it, and we appointed and later elected a female youth leader. We call it girl youth leader. So it's something that came to me during that training, because in the training it was intense on strategies to mainstream this and the media. And media is actually a tool in advocacy. So I now decided to take it to the next level by doing that in my advocacy platform, which is like the political platform. And what I'm working on now is that other political parties should do what we do, because we are doing peer review among climate change support groups, so that when we do the peer review, they'll find out that this is the way to go. And if I adopt it, it will be a tin of pie for me, that it has been a value we created in the society via that climate. Even the name, Climate Action Africa, it gives the spirit